LA Clippers, you said you're excited to talk about them, so I'll let you go ahead and take the reins because there's a lot of moves here, a lot of things, and I'm really not sure what to make of 99% of it. So why don't you go ahead and start off with the LA Clippers?
Mo Bamba does nothing for me. Re-signing Batum does nothing for me. Chris Dunn, congratulations. We forgot to mention this with the Denver Nuggets. You know who they're highly linked to is a trade for Russell Westbrook.
Okay.
It sounds like Russell Westbrook's time in LA is done. He opted in. Sounds like they're trying to trade him. Derek Jones Jr. I thought that was a good move for them.
Yeah, definitely.
James Harden on a 2-year 70. The second year is a player option, so it's really a 1-year 30. But how, if you're the Clippers, do you look at your two stars and you look at Kawhi Leonard, who never fucking plays and he's never available and he's always hurt, and you have Paul George, and you're like, yeah, no, we'll bring back Kawhi, no brainer, just like that. Paul George, see you later.
Yep.
And how do you not move him? I mean, I know he had to opt in. He wasn't, but moving him for anything is so. So now you've lost Paul George and you've brought back Harden and Kawhi. Like, who is afraid of that? Like,
no one.
Honestly, I have
2018, dog.
I have soured on Kawhi so much. I think he's just ruined his legacy, whatever legacy he had, by being like the way he forced himself out of San Antonio, right? He wouldn't play. And then he goes to Toronto and he wins a championship. And I was like, oh, wow, that's impressive, Toronto. But then he's like, peace.
Yep.
And then he signs with the Clippers and he never plays.
Which he signed with the Clippers on the pretext of getting George, which that trade is now an NBA landscaping changing trade. Like, that trade alone changed everything in the NBA between what the Clippers are doing, what OKC is doing, what they've moved with those pieces, and what other teams have gone and done with those pieces as well. That trade has been insanely landscaping changed for the NBA alone.
I just think it's funny. I mean, how good are the Clippers today if it's just SGA and Kawhi instead of now you got James Harden and Kawhi?
The James Harden deal, once again, I grade every single deal individually. I tally them up and then I spit out a grade for it. Is my lowest graded deal. I give it a 0. I don't give a shit about this deal. I was asked multiple times, my other cousins, a bunch of people, who should the Clippers bring back? And I was like, they should bring back PG. Like, he's from California. Like, they're going to want to bring him back. They're going to want to bring him back, especially since the stadium's going to open. He played well. He's a two-way player. Yeah, sure, you got the whole playoff P thing. He doesn't play well in there. And he doesn't do well in those conditions. But what the Clippers are going to be worried about is selling out seats and at least winning some games. And I think PG does that for you. And then they bring back Harden. And I said they shouldn't bring back Harden, especially when you're talking about averaging 16.6 points per game, 8.5 assists last season for the Clippers. That's all you're bringing. That's what you're bringing for $35 million a year.
How many games did he play?
I don't have that up right here. But then you're handing him the second season's a player option season. So after the season, he could just opt out and just say, see you later, which James Harden has. His emotion changes with the season. So we don't know what he's going to end up doing the next season or the season after. It's just he's not a player that garners $35 million a year. I just don't care about it. The Derek Jones Jr. signing was the highest graded thing I have on here. The lowest graded thing was the James Harden thing. Everything else is in the middle. Like you said, Mo Bamba doesn't really move the needle. Nick Batum graded a little bit lower than that. Chris Dunn rated a little bit higher than that. Kevin Porter Jr. coming in. That doesn't move the needle. Like, you were just playing in Greece in April and May, so it doesn't really move the needle. You lost Mason Plumlee, so you lost your backup center. So I'm not sure what this team is doing. For me, it's a C- for this team. The James Harden thing is just an absolute it's a joke to me. You talk about souring on Kawhi. James Harden was 2018 was my de facto favorite shooting guard in the league. I really like James. And then everything started happening and everything started moving around. And I couldn't stand him at a certain point. And I was just like, whatever. And at this point, it's like, again, you're not worth $35 million a year. I'm over it. Let's move on, because he's not worth my time or energy to talk about at the end of the day for me.
Yeah, that's big time screaming. We just want to fill our arena, James Harden vibes. But James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, Zubac, and Terrence Mann. Okay.
Yep. I mean, how
That's the 7th or 8th seed in the West maybe next year.
Yeah, the whole stadium thing's so corny to me. I just don't care about it. You're legitimately having an entire section where only fans can sit. Like that's so corny to me. That's so stupid. I think it's so dumb. Just because you can't fill out an arena because your team sucks means that you're saving specific sections for fans only because you can't fill out arenas. You don't want fans or of other teams sitting other places. I hate it. I think it's so stupid. I just can't stand it. It just annoys the shit out of me. A lot of people hate the Lakers and everything they do. The Clippers just piss me off, and they just it's like a brush off thing, And I grew up watching, Lob City. Lob City was a lot of fun, and I still watch all the highlights, all that stuff. Now it's just like whatever, dude. Let's move on. I don't even care.
That's funny. That's the difference between us. I was thinking Michael Olowokandi and Lamar Odom, and you're thinking Blake Griffin and Chris
that's
Paul.
crazy. Yeah, I know that's when I think Clippers. It's definitely Lob City. That's when I started getting into basketball. It was a decade ago.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes, like every once in a while, I'll see something on Twitter about Chris Webber playing for the Warriors, and it kind of like blows my brain back a little bit because Chris Webber was a Warrior. What?
Right.
That was before my time. People, people want to talk to me about Mitch Richmond because I have a Mitch Richmond jersey I wear around because it's bright blue. I'm like, oh yeah, The Rock. He was a beast. I never saw him play one game.
It's like wearing around a Deion jersey. It's like Deion was a beast. Like, yeah, I didn't watch him. I mean, yeah, but yeah, cool.